Hello, welcome to Business Incorporated. Thank you for joining me. I am Bolaji Akinwale. This week, we will take a look at the foreign exchange market. The Central Bank of Nigeria decided to close the retail Dutch auction window of the market to forestall the widening gap between the official and interbank rates. My guest is the Chief Executive Officer of FMGQ OTC PLC, Mr. Bola Onodele Koko. On our headlines, the Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission has set out a 5-year master plan in order to increase investment into Nigeria.
The Executive Secretary, Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, Mrs. Saratu Umar, has stated that the Commission plans to initiate a new tax regime as a means of wooing foreign and local investors into the economy. Umar, who was speaking in Lagos, noted that multiple taxation had been the bane of foreign direct investment in the country. According to Mrs. Umar, the NIPC is working with the Federal Ministry of Finance to resolve the issue of multiple taxation and for a new tax regime as a way of retaining foreign direct investment. The slump in global oil prices was an opportunity to diversify the economy and explore the nation's potential in areas other than crude oil production and exportation. The Commission seemed far behind among other investment bodies. Therefore, the need to reposition it for greater relevance through business process re-engineering and transformation.
Looking at the Industrial Revolution Plan, it's a very holistic plan as well. So we're using that also to make sure we bring in investments that will drive those key sectors that are identified within that plan to ensure that the economy is diversified in a strategic manner. So we're doing all of that, and that's why we're working around the clock to ensure that we actually put the sound foundation required to drive the institution to achieve that.
Nigeria also needs to provide effective and efficient services in a way and manner that meets the expectation of all stakeholders to play a greater role in investment promotion. There is a need to leverage FDI as a means of economic growth. On the issue of job creation, the need for foreign investment to come into the country to make our economy more resilient has been identified. Nigeria is putting an investment master plan as part of efforts to bridge the gap of insufficient investment in the country. Part of this plan is the development of a 5-year strategy to drive inflow of funds from outside the shores of the country.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is...
The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, has said about 2.9 million metric tons of high-quality milled rice will be added to the existing stock in the country. This was contained in a statement issued by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Adesina noted that the addition would bring Nigeria closer to being self-sufficient in rice production and a potential exporter of milled rice. According to him, 1.9 million metric tons of rice were produced in the country in the 2013 dry and wet seasons, contributing 320 billion naira to the gross domestic product and creating 670,000 jobs in the process. He added that new varieties of the produce had revolutionized rice production in Nigeria, as the ministry, through seed companies, had consistently multiplied and distributed seeds to farmers for cultivation since 2011, when the implementation of the GES commenced. Additionally said, besides seed and extension support to farmers, efforts were ongoing to develop and strengthen other elements of the rice value chain, including subsidized inputs and mechanization services through the agricultural equipment hiring service, for which financing support was accessible through the Bank of Agriculture and Bank of Industry. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry says the closure of the foreign exchange window, the retail and wholesale Dutch auction systems by the Central Bank of Nigeria will compound the challenges facing the real sector. In a statement signed by the president of the chamber, Mr. Remy Bello, It is urging the CBN to provide a refinancing facility of 200 billion naira for investors with high forex exposure. The CBN had stated that all demands for foreign exchange should be channeled to the interbank market in the bid to stem round-tripping, speculative demand, rent-seeking, spurious demand and inefficient use of scarce forex resources. Although the LCCI noted that it might be difficult to fault the decision of the CBN, it stressed the need for mitigating measures to cushion the effects of the policy on investors with high forex exposure and ensure the continued survival of the real sector. Real sector operators, particularly the few that had access to the forex window, were the first victims of the closure of the RDAs. It noted that the forex window was aimed at providing support for the real sector of the economy because of its strategic importance to the development process, job creation, and inclusive growth. On the immediate implication of the closure of the RDAs, the LCCI boss pointed out that it will result in the escalation of production costs for firms that had access to the forex window. Such firms will experience cost increases of up to 200%. This will impact on sales performance, profit margins, and ultimately capacity utilization of their firms. Import duty and other port charges, which are computed as a percentage of import cost, will also correspondingly increase. This implies additional pressure on operating cost for erstwhile beneficiaries of the CBN RDA's forex window. According to the group, firms' funding requirements in Naira will increase to reflect the new exchange rate, and this has implications for the cost of funds. As part of the mitigating measures, the Chamber proposed that all critical raw materials and other imported inputs of manufacturing firms should now attract a zero import duty.
We'll go on a break, and when we return, we will bring you my conversation with the CEO of FMDQ OTC, Bola Onodele Koko.